Hi everyone. So we are on lesson 9 of the algebra unit booklet that you're working through right now. And this is your review lesson. So this is going to be a short one. I'm just going to go through one word problem type of question. You're going to be doing your next quiz. If you're in a red or a blue group, it will be during your lesson 10 in class. If you're in one of the green groups, then you're going to be doing your quiz during your 11th lesson in class. And so what's going to be on your quiz? So you're going to be looking at, I'm going to be checking to make sure that you know how to add and subtract monomials, which is, another name for that would be collecting like terms. The other thing that you should know how to do is you should know how to multiply and divide monomials, right? Know your exponent rules. If you're multiplying, you're going to add the exponents. If you're dividing, you're going to subtract the exponents. And then there's going to be a big focus on word problems. So make sure that when you're getting ready for the algebra section of your quiz that you go back and look over lessons 7 and 8 at home because they were focusing on a lot of the different word problems. All right, so first that's on your sheet. So we're on page 18 right now in your booklet, so it should be the very last page. The first that's on there is like a warm-up chart. And that is just looking at different polynomials and writing down their name, what the coefficient of x is, coefficient of y, and then what is the constant term. So I have the first one opened up here. So this is called a trinomial. It has 3 terms. Terms are separated by pluses or minuses. And one of these questions was on your last quiz, actually. I asked you how many terms does this polynomial have? So make sure that you're familiar with these names. So this is a trinomial. It has 3 terms. Coefficient of x, so we're looking for the term that has an x, and the coefficient is the value in the front, which would be a 2 in this case. Coefficient of y would be a -3, and the constant term in this case would be a 7. So just pause the video for a second and see if you can fill out the rest of this chart. And then once you're done, turn it back on. All right, so I'm hoping that you've tried these on your own. Let's see how you did. So the second one is a binomial. There is no x term, so we say not applicable. Coefficient of y would be 4, and the constant term is -9. The third one has 3 terms again, trinomial. Coefficient of x would be 1. If there's no value in front of the x, it's a 1. Coefficient of y is -1, and there is no constant term. Next one is a monomial, just 1 term, no x term, coefficient of y is 0.67, no constant term, and the last one is a binomial, 2 terms, coefficient of x is 12, no coefficient of y, and a constant term of -157. Okay, so the word problem I'm going to go through is we have a parallelogram, and we're looking to see, what is the simplified expression for perimeter and area of this shape. So for the perimeter, we're just looking at the outside lengths, okay, and then adding them up together. The 3x is for the height, and we're going to use that for the area in the next part. So we're going to add up 4x plus 2 plus 3x minus 5 plus 4x plus 2 plus 3x minus 5. Okay, which is what I've done here. I have it written in brackets, but you don't really need the brackets. In the next line, I just simply remove them. There is no values in front of the brackets for you to expand, so we can literally just remove the brackets. Now you're collecting like terms, right? You're adding and subtracting terms, so group together all the x's. We have a 4x, 4x, 3x, and 3x, which is going to give me 14x. And then for the constants, we have a 2 plus 2 is 4, minus 5 is going to give me -6. All right, so that's a simplified expression for perimeter, and you will have a question like this on your quiz. For the area parallelogram is found by multiplying the base by the height. So the base is 4x plus 2, and the height is 3x. So we need to multiply those together, and we have a binomial multiplied by a monomial. I'm going to just move that monomial to the front. Okay, and now I'm going to multiply the 3x by everything inside the bracket. So 3x times 4x and then 3x times 2. So 3x times 4x is 12x squared. And then 3x times 2 is 6x. So there you go. Those are my simplified expressions for perimeter and area. Now, this is not on your page, but let's say I asked, what is the perimeter of this shape if x is equal to 2, for example? Okay, that's a possible question. Well, what you would do is you would use your simplified expression, 14x minus 6, and replace the x with your 2. Okay, so you'd work out 14 times 2 is 28, and then you would subtract 6, and then that would give you 22. Okay, and then if we were given meters, for example, like some kind of units, then you would say the perimeter would be 22 meters. And you would work out the area the same way. You would multiply, you would square the 2 and then multiply by 12. So 12 times 4 is 48. And then to that you would add 6 times 2, which is 12. And then you would have meters squared for that. Okay, so that's just another possibility. I think there might be a question in your homework that asks for that. So that's the only example I wanted to do. I want you to go back and look through your lessons when you're studying for this quiz. The big focus of the quiz is going to be on word problems. Okay, so you do need to know the basic skills of how to add and subtract terms, multiply, divide terms, expand and simplify. You need to know how to use those basic skills in order to do the word problems. But your quiz is going to have a big focus on word problems like these ones here. If you do these questions without any issues, you should be in great shape for the quiz. I'm also going to give you the answers here. So if you're watching the video, you've got access to the solutions. You can just pause the page and take a look. I'm not posting these on Google Classroom, so you will only see these if you've watched the video. How can you get extra help if you're having trouble? So hopefully you know that, getting extra help is available in class, right, during your math class, or if you're in study hall and there's another teacher there, you can ask them and I will come to your room to help you out. You can also come in, in the morning. I can help you between 8 and 8:20, right before school starts. And at lunch is also another possibility. You could use the Google Classroom for Math Aid that we have set up to post your questions. There are 7 senior math students in there answering questions. Or you can also send me an email. So lots and lots of opportunities to make sure that you understand every single one of these questions. All right, good luck with your work, and I will see you in class.